Okay, so let's try another example of solving a system using the substitution method. So for this system that I have here, you'll notice it's a little bit different than the last one because neither of my equations are solved for x or for y. So I don't have x equals where x is all by itself here. I don't have y equals where y is all by itself. Same thing down here. So this requires an extra step. You're going to have to start by solving one of the equations for x or for y. Now, when you pick a variable in an equation to solve for, be smart. If you can, pick a variable that has a 1 out in front of it. So probably the two easiest variables to solve for would be y in the first equation or y in the second equation. So it doesn't really matter which one you would pick. I'm going to solve the first equation for y. So that means in that first equation, I need to get y all by itself. So to get y all by itself, I'm going to have to move negative x to the other side of the equation. And to do that, I'm going to use an inverse operation. So I'm going to add x. I get y is equal to x plus 3. So now what I can do is this is my first equation rearranged so that y is solved for. And now I'm going to substitute into my other equation. You do not want to substitute back into the equation you just solved. So I'm going to take x plus 3. I'm going to plug it into that second equation for y. So I have x plus, use your parentheses when you substitute, x plus 3 is equal to negative 1. Now, I do have parentheses, but the only number that's out in front of my parentheses is a 1. So if I multiply x and 3 by 1, nothing's going to change there. So get rid of your parentheses first, combine your like terms. Then you can focus on solving for x. So I need to get x all by itself. I'm going to move a positive 3 to the other side by subtracting 3. And then I'm going to use my inverse operation for multiplication, which is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. I get x is negative 1. Now remember, for a system, you need an x value and a y value in order to write your answer as an ordered pair. So I'm not done. I need to solve for y. Now I can do that by plugging into one of the two original equations or this equation that I've already solved for y, which is actually going to be the easiest. So I'm going to use this third equation down here, y equals x plus 3. I'm going to substitute in negative 1 for x. So I have y equals negative 1 plus 3. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. So here's my x value, here's my y value. Remember to write your answer as an ordered pair. Negative 1, comma 2 is your final solution.